America's key Indo-Pacific allies appear to be sending a fresh warning to Xi Jinping ahead of any potential conflict involving Taiwan. The United States, Japan, and South Korea have joined forces for major trilateral military exercises in the Pacific region. The joint drills are set to take place in waters near South Korea's strategically located Jeju Island. Missile defense operations, anti-submarine warfare, and cyber warfare drills are expected to feature as Trump's allies demonstrate their military coordination near China. Trump had previously scaled back some military drills with South Korea amid diplomacy with Kim Jong Un, but the Freedom Edge exercises now appear to be back. Amid rising concerns over possible Taiwan conflict, South Korea, Japan, and the United States are set to hold a major trilateral military exercise near the Korean peninsula. The multi-domain Freedom Edge exercise will be held from September 7th to 11th in international waters east and south of South Korea's strategically located Jeju Island. The joint drill is expected to include maritime missile defense operations, along with air operations and air defense scenarios involving forces from all three countries. South Korea, Japan, and the United States will also conduct anti-submarine warfare and cyber defense training as part of the broader multi-domain exercise. Seoul has said the annual exercise is defensive in nature and will focus on responding to North Korea's nuclear and missile threats while safeguarding regional peace and stability. Seoul's Joint Chiefs of Staff said, and I quote, "This exercise is a defensive drill conducted annually by the three countries to respond to North Korea's nuclear and missile threats and safeguard peace and stability in the region," unquote. United States Pacific Command said, and I quote, "This premier multi-domain exercise will continue to reinforce our shared values, enhance our shared interoperability, and further strengthen our defense partnerships to ensure peace and stability throughout the Pacific," unquote. South Korea made the announcement on August 28, days after the United States scaled back the duration and scope of its annual joint military exercises with Seoul. Washington had reduced its participation in the US-South Korea Ulchi Freedom Shield drills, in what was seen as an effort to encourage renewed dialogue with North Korea. President Donald Trump said the larger-scale US-South Korea military exercises were very insulting to North Korean leader Kim Jong Un, while citing his own relationship with Kim. Despite Washington's attempts at outreach through reduced drills, North Korea has indicated that it has little interest in resuming diplomacy with the United States. Pyongyang has previously denounced the trilateral Freedom Edge exercise involving South Korea, Japan, and the United States as a reckless show of strength by its adversaries. As Trump courts Kim for new talks, Pyongyang has threatened a powerful response, accusing Washington of pursuing hostile actions in several spheres. On August 27, North Korea condemned Washington's latest approved arms sale to South Korea, arguing that the missile package threatens regional security. Pyongyang vowed to respond strongly and immediately to hostile U.S. actions, according to Reuters, delivering its warning through a foreign ministry statement carried by KCNA. The spokesperson said, and I quote, "We once again and clearly recognize the expression of the U.S. open attitude to be always hostile to the DPRK. Now that the military integration of the U.S. and its allies is being accelerated in the Asia-Pacific region, we cannot overlook the adverse effect of the U.S. sale of its weapons to the ROK on the regional security environment." Unquote. The warning was not limited to military moves, with Pyongyang also targeting U.S. policy initiatives involving its human rights record and information access. North Korea slammed U.S. funding to document its human rights situation, according to Reuters, calling the initiative an effort to fuel instability in its system. North Korea's warning followed U.S. approval for a potential $125 million missile sale to Seoul, a package that still requires completion of the formal sale process. The package includes AIM-9X Sidewinder Block 2 air-to-air missiles and related equipment, designed to strengthen South Korea's air combat capabilities. North Korea described the proposed U.S. missile sale as a new threat to its security, saying the weapons transfer could worsen tensions across the region. North Korea said Washington has approved multiple weapons sales to Seoul this year, pointing to a widening range of platforms and munitions for South Korean forces. The United States has approved potential sales of naval helicopters for South Korean forces, expanding maritime surveillance and anti-submarine capabilities. Washington has also approved attack helicopter upgrades for South Korean forces, boosting Seoul's ability to conduct armed operations from the air. The approved packages include precision-guided bombs for Seoul's arsenal, providing new guided munition options for South Korea's Air Force. The proposed deals also include related equipment supporting new weapons, from maintenance and training systems to logistical and technical support. North Korea also accused Washington of helping Seoul expand its warfighting capabilities, portraying the arms packages as part of a wider U.S.-South Korean military buildup. Pyongyang attacked growing U.S. allied military integration across the Asia-Pacific, claiming closer coordination is worsening the broader regional security environment. The escalation comes as Donald Trump renews overtures to North Korean leader Kim Jong Un, even as Pyongyang signals little interest in talks under current conditions. South Korea has pledged to help Donald Trump revive diplomatic talks with North Korea, offering Seoul support for a fresh dialogue push. Seoul made the offer days after Kim Jong Un rejected Trump's latest bid to revive talks, leaving Washington's outreach in doubt. South Korean Foreign Minister Cho Hyun reportedly spoke with U.S. Secretary of State Marco Rubio about efforts to restart engagement with Pyongyang. Seoul said both sides agreed to closely coordinate their efforts to restore dialogue with North Korea and prevent tensions from escalating. South Korea also vowed to ensure Trump's latest messages reach Pyongyang and create an opening for renewed talks with Kim Jong Un. The two sides also discussed North Korea's nuclear issue and broader security concerns across the Korean peninsula. Trump's recent moves have already created new friction between the two allies, adding pressure to an increasingly delicate relationship. Trump has cut back joint U.S.-South Korea military drills while simultaneously praising Kim Jong Un, raising questions in Seoul. South Korea also faces pressure from Washington over trade, investment and security issues, complicating the alliance's wider strategic equation. South Korea has promised to help restore free passage through the Strait of Hormuz, adding another regional responsibility for Seoul. President Trump has ordered the Pentagon to substantially reduce U.S.-South Korea military exercises, citing their cost and tensions with North Korea. Trump said the exercises were too costly and sent what he called an inappropriate and hostile signal to North Korea. He cited his very good relationship with North Korean leader Kim Jong Un as a reason for scaling back the joint military drills. Trump said he recently asked Seoul to join the U.S. effort to denuclearize Iran, but South Korea refused the request. Donald Trump said, and I quote, "Based on my very good relationship with Kim Jong Un, of North Korea, I am not happy with the fact that the United States has, long ago, agreed to participate in joint military exercises with South Korea. These exercises are not only costly, with much of these costs paid for by the United States of America, as usual, but send a signal that is totally inappropriate and hostile to a country that, as long as Donald J. Trump has been president, has been unthreatening and respectful. Therefore, and based on the fact that it is too late to cancel, I have instructed Secretary of War, Pete Hegseth, to substantially reduce the joint military exercises." While somewhat unrelated, I recently asked the President of South Korea if they would like to join us in the denuclearization of the Islamic Republic of Iran. And they said, "No thanks." Unquote. Trump said reducing the drills would help avoid sending what he described as a hostile signal to North Korea while lowering the cost of the exercises.
Upgrade your news experience with the all-new HT app. Download now.